So I want to talk today about EV road signage. And I think EV drivers like yourselves are probably aware that there is a bit of a lack of signage on our roads for EV charging. And this is due to different factors. For example, different roads have different rules around which signs can go up and who those need to be approved by. And as you can imagine, motorways and the A road, the very big A roads, require quite stringent rules to make sure that our roads are safe and that there's not too many signs on them. And then there's also local roads, and those ones, those signs are approved by local authorities, and different local authorities follow slightly different rules. So the problem is at the moment that there's a set of regulations. It has a symbol for EV charging. It has a couple of different types of wording that we might have for EV charging, but it's very limited. It's quite strict about what can be approved. And so what we know government doing at the moment are having a review of that. And they're looking at, can there be better signage? And can we, I guess, given the total sort of transformation, the switch to electric vehicles, we need to have signs that provide safety for drivers, provide information for drivers. We need an overhaul of the signs. And I guess my interesting conversation that I'd love to have with you guys today is what should be on the signs. What do drivers need? What do they look for? What is going to give them the information that they're looking for at that moment in time on those different types of roads? Perhaps it's different types of EV charging, different speeds, different numbers of charging. And so I guess there's lots of different elements that come into it. But from the driver perspective, what do we think needs to happen? What would be the best outcome?
Dora knows from our previous relationship as Charge Safe and Osprey, I'm a big advocate for clear signage on approach to a charging site. And I have seen many varieties of this in practice. And Osprey, I have to say, are probably one of the best CPOs for it, because there will be smaller signs that simply say, Osprey EV charging this way on the approach, which I think is relevant. It's not too clunky. It's not too much information. It's what you need. And then as you're entering the charge site, there's a totem or something nearby that will state the kilowatt hour that's available, the speed of the charging, the price per kilowatt hour. And I don't know how easy it is to change that based on the different tariff, the rate, the time of day that you're charging, because of course those energy prices will change. So that's, I guess, kind of a slightly separate tangent from the overall conversation. But for me, it's interesting to hear how those conversations have moved with the different local authorities across the country, in that which ones have been, you don't have to name and shame, of course, but which one, Gary wants you to, absolutely, but which ones have been, the most proactive in saying, yes, absolutely, this is really positive information for drivers to have. And it works in two ways. It works for the drivers to have clarity of, oh, there's a charger there, I can go and use that, if they're not using an application to map them to one. And it gives visibility to our lovely internal combustion engine drivers, and kind of creates that confidence of, oh, every time I'm driving down this road, I can see this sign on the left here, there's a sign up here on the right, which is for another provider. And it just builds this big visual impact that the charging infrastructure is here where they may not necessarily see it. And I've actually found myself recently driving around, and every time I see a driver, I will point it at a charger. I will point it out to whoever is in the vehicle with me. I'm like, oh, look, there's another charger. And I'm doing it because I'm a nerd, but I feel like it's actually helping them see it, because if you don't need a charger, you don't necessarily see them, but the signage is going to stop that from happening for us and say, there's chargers here, come and use it.